yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab it, then take it. Like a disease, bring them to their knees. Take for their disease. Just like a weed, spread into the streets. Time to make them bleed. 'Cause we just want retribution. Let's go light up the darkness. Make true of an empty promise. Flip guards into weak and harmless. Take to the streets and turn them to a mosh pit. 'Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution.
Hey. Welcome back.
Welcome
Prince
back,
Adam.
ADRL Nation, for another episode of the ADRL Podcast. Let me turn the volume down over here.
Yeah, you blowing out your ears a little bit?
No, just the tablet. You keep eyes and tabs on many things.
Yes, sir. Yes, Thursday night. Welcome back to the ADRL Podcast. Thursday night. I'm Dr. Fears.
And I'm Prince Adam.
And of course, before we start, we want to thank our sponsors. Just right out of the gate. Just right real quick. They're up here. If you don't see them, they're right up there. Renegade Racing Fuels, Fuel Tech, and Chris Duncan Race Cars.
That's
Along with Amanda Hoover. She's awesome.
And got to give a shout out to Mike Sampson here, who
Mike, what's good, brother?
watches the feed like a hawk, because he put this one in 9:36 a.m. this morning, watching from Knoxville. He is always first in there for the chat hours before we even start.
Well, that's a good thing.
What's up, Nick?
What's up, Nick, man? What's good, brother? Bruce.
How we doing, sir?
Reminds me of the Rams back in the day. Isaac Bruce. When you make it out in the field, everybody was like, Bruce. Now we got to do that for Bruce Shuck. Bam.
Makes sense. I'll do it.
Heck yeah. So what's good in your world, Adam?
Same old. Just sitting here watching the days tick by and click closer and closer to October 25th.
Amen.
I'm a fan of Halloween. That's the only reason.
It's crazy, man. Like stores already have Halloween stuff out as like 2 months ago.
Yeah, that's all well and good. I gave up the haunted houses years ago. The neighborhood doesn't support it anymore. There's not enough kids to justify the week's worth of time that I would put in. I'd kick Kyle out of his garage for about 3 weeks at least while I set up the basic game plan and floor plan, got all the props and everything over there, set it up, had a maze going through to the back. It got a little too wild, a little too crazy, but boy, a whole lot of fun.
Yeah. Kids love it.
3 Ps 1 year. That was our record.
3 Ps in 1 year. All right. Very nice. Did you have a P board up front for people to mark on?
No, it was just a mental tally we took.
Like, oh boy, there's another one. She's leaving with P. He's leaving with P.
Halloween themed race. Yep. Ryan and I have chatted about that. It is, and it's the weekend right before us, so it only makes sense.
It makes complete sense. Groundbreaking.
Indeed. Calendars. They're amazing.
Calendars are amazing. I love them.
Love me some calendars.
I love it. So yeah, man, busy week. If you missed us on the Tuesday Night Podcast, it was a good time.
Always is.
Yes. Not to talk politics, but I am missing the RNC right now. Looking forward to hearing President Trump talk.
It's weird. I
watch the DNC too. I watch both sides of the coin. It's like watching Ozark, as I told you before. I watch it all. It's just
it's reality TV.
Reality TV.
Scripted, fake people. It's perfect. But this isn't Tuesday night. I won't go down my diatribes of.
But hey, man, we will. I will say that prayers out to the Trump family because he came pretty darn close to not being here anymore, and that sucks. It doesn't matter who you are. That's just a shitty situation to be in, man.
About it.
I mean, unless you're egregiously. I mean, unless it's well deserved kind of deal, I mean, I don't. It's hard. It's that blurred line of.
I'm not exactly
deserve it, not deserve it.
Pulse of it, but it seems like with every news story that comes out, it's making more and more sense.
Right. Yo, what's up, wild man? Rod knees. Oh, I got all kinds of jokes for that one.
Yeah, now
I'm sure Rodney's heard them all.
We'll catch back up on that topic next Tuesday.
Yeah. We'll catch back up on it next Tuesday, but
we can really let loose.
Yeah, but it's been a crazy week, man. Super busy. Got a lot going on. I have finally landed the badges for the trophies. So Doug Reister and everybody else that won a trophy there at the Drag Wars.
John Sullivan.
We'll be sending your plates back to you here soon. Where's Sullivan?
Usually in the winner's circle.
All right.
every time I see him lately, at least. But
usually in the winner's circle. That's funny. But it's great, man. It's great. It's a good day. It's great to be alive. Life is good, man. And I hope the same for everybody out there watching. Life is good.
No doubt about.
So yeah, we got, as everybody knows, we got Huntsville coming up here in October. Looking forward to that event. It's going to be a pretty great time. It looks like I've been getting calls from folks, and they've got cars ready. So it looks like we're going to be heading to those fields. So it should be a pretty fantastic time.
If they don't, they got 99 days to do it.
But a Sunday ain't one. Hit me.
I guess that could apply with that loose Jay-Z reference. I'll take it.
Yeah. It was very loose reference. I was having a hard time trying to come up with something there. Yeah. Sorry if I sound brain dead. Been very busy. Yeah, I need to come watch match racing this weekend. At where? Damn it, man.
Holiday.
It's fucking. Excuse my French, but holy cow! It's like anytime something comes up, the key part is right in front of the camera.
Right by the camera.
Yeah.
Did you partner with anyone for Huntsville?
Yes.
I mean, The Verge.
Yeah. We're working with The Verge. It's not. I mean, it's not. I guess it kind of is a partnership, but it's
Yeah, in a way,
more
shape, or form.
kind of, hey, let's do an event together kind of deal.
Yeah,
Like we did with the
coordination.
SNRA at SGMP. So yeah, The Verge will
Collaboration.
be there. Collab. Yeah, we're looking forward to it because they bring good heavy classes. They've got some good index classes with some pretty deep fields. So yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be a great perfect mix.
Yeah, it should be a good little show that we're going to have there. And then, them being kind of relatively new into everything, at least on the promotion side as well. So it's going to be pretty
Well,
nice.
they're not. Well, keep in mind they're not new to promotions, dude.
I mean, at least with the Verge aspect.
With The Verge, yes, you're right.
Still a 2-day event. That is correct.
Yes, still a 2-day event, and we're gonna keep it that way.
It gets real
You're
tricky
gonna
once you
keep it
start
that
to,
way.
and for our side of things, adding in Sunday is complex. And then adding in a Thursday throws in wrenches, no pun intended, for racers to be able to get there and have the full classes to kind of really make it worthwhile. So
Right.
it's one of those things that hopefully we have the painful task of having to try to navigate and extending that into more. But that just means that we've got great car counts, great classes filling out, spectators showing up, and we're just putting on a banger event that goes for more than 2 days.
There's a
Nothing
track
else that
in Atlanta, Mississippi that and that's all I got.
needs actions.
Okay, cool. Right on. Next race is in October, man.
October 25th and 26th, Huntsville, Alabama, Rocket City Dragway, and then we'll be following that up down in Ferris, Texas at world famous XRP on November 15th and 16th. And that'll
Adam's
round
quick
out-
with the answers.
That's right. Adam has it processing through his brain almost 24/7. So, yep, it's pretty accessible.
He's ready.
Pretty accessible. Yeah, I'm more than ready. This car's been sitting in the shop all winter, and it's ready to make a hit.
Rocktober.
A to B.
Adam is clearly stir crazy.
Yeah, Adam's fired up.
Yeah, he is.
All jacked
I
up
was going to
in
say you need to
Mountain
get out, but
Dew. I get it.
that was a really nice picture, man. You do get out, bro.
Yeah,
The other night, man, that was a great picture down. I knew exactly where you were at when you sent me that picture.
It's immediately identifiable.
It sure
And it was
is.
only about 6 meters from the bench in which I was holding down for about 20 minutes before that picture. So it was perfect timing.
Yeah. That was great. That was super great. So, hey, we want to thank Nick as well. Nick has been reaching out to some folks, taking the initiative and reaching out to some folks to be on the podcast. And, Nick's been in the industry Nicholas Rabe. Nick's been in the industry for a long time. He's got a deep pocket of contacts. And so, he decided to take the initiative and chip in and help bring some folks on the podcast. And,
Hello to you too.
Hey, hello. So we want to thank
family.
We want to thank Nick for actually get in touch with our upcoming guest on today's podcast. And it's kind of neat because, Nick knows a lot of people that we don't know. Right. And in our pool, it's quick to dry up because we only know individuals that I've either met, in Bradenton or, at some of our events or racers that have raced with us and kind of branching from there, but in the big scheme of things, if anybody out there has ideas for future guests for the podcast, feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to have them on. Send it to Adam at ADRLtour.com.
That's right.
Somebody's blowing up my phone. Check to see what was going on.
Not
it's the wifey. So when the wifey messages, I've got to respond just out of respect. But I am going to let her know I'm on the podcast. So that should be the last
But
one.
Ryan, it's Thursday and it's after 7, between the hours 7 and 8 p.m. Where else would you be?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I think she gets it mixed up between Tuesday and Thursday night, and that's okay.
Kyle does it every week too.
God bless her. She's an amazing woman. And you know what? That's fine. We have many special guests coming on in upcoming weeks. Everyone should tune in and don't miss out. Yes, tune in and don't miss out. Tuna N.
That's right.
Tune in.
If you get the opportunity, you get the chance, join along live. That way you can participate in the live chat just like everybody else. I try to catch most all of them and throw them up in there to to get them up on the screen so everybody can see, since there's crossover issues between Facebook and YouTube. But the interaction part, boy, especially on Tuesday, that gets fun.
Yes, it does. And you know what? I think it's pretty cool.
All right. That's a bold statement. What the hell are you talking about?
Take that to the bank, folks.
Is that the chat thing or the interaction part? Or
It's open for interpretation.
okay.
I'm a musician,
There you go. There you go. Wherever
not a
you-
lyricist.
wherever you need for it to apply within your life, there it is now to be applied. Okay, I get it.
It's cool. It's real cool.
Darn right.
Yeah. What do you got to say about that?
Man, not much except 99 days. That's what I keep thinking.
No, but you know what I was going to say is that, I know that during the summer times we were kind of had a little bit of downtime, kids out of school. I've been pretty busy,
Ooh, getting called up
we've
by the
still
wife.
managed to, James Trolson, where you at?
He's getting called up by the wife.
Yeah. We've still managed to have substantive podcasts because, we've wanted to make this about the ADRL, right? This is the ADRL podcast. This isn't Drag Illustrated. This isn't, this is not the place that you come watch, to get the latest updates in the drag racing world. That's not what we're here to do. We are very selfish and we only care about the ADRL. No, I'm just kidding.
I never heard this. After 11 child's birthday. Come on, lay down the law. Do you know
Yeah,
podcast? Yeah. Yeah, that
Yeah,
is right. It is a female run household over there.
Oh my gosh, man. Yep. But now I got my little man. He's coming up. He's helping hold down the fort.
Well, be safe, at least, James.
Riding down the road, James. Yep. Be safe. Don't hit any deer. Like to see TMW Clyde Scott as a guest.
Oh, yes.
Oh, don't worry. Don't worry, Miss Darlene.
You almost have to talk me out of trying not to have Clyde on as a guest every single week, because that boy,
I'm telling you.
he cracks me up, and I could listen to him just go on and on for hours.
It'll be a Clyde banger. It'll be like some sneaky stuff. We'll have Clyde on and then maybe sabotage it with having Bubba jump in and then have the landlord maybe and then Frankie out of nowhere.
I fat finger some emails and send out a bunch of links. It'd be, oh man, that'd be a horrible mistake.
Yeah.
Great episode.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, Clyde is one of the best. It's like watching WWE when Clyde's in front of the camera.
Man, I'm really excited for October and November because you know what, damn it, the ADRL is here to run outlaw pro mods. No rules, outlaw pro mods. We're here to go fast, right? As Ricky Bobby would say, we're here to go fast. And that's why I'm very proud owner of the ADRL, because we're doing something not a lot of other people are doing. And this year so far, it's kind of been a tough year in racing in general, man. I've not seen a lot of fast times and not a lot of really ass getting. Now I take that back. At the World Series of Pro Mods, with their initial runs prior to qualifying, Tutterow and Scruggs were laying down some heavy heat, but I am super excited for October and November.
Are you really going to see records getting thrown down this time
We
of year?
should.
Though?
Yes,
But
there's no reason why we shouldn't.
With the heat and the way it impacts track prep and all that kind of stuff.
No, I guess that's my point, is that spring, it didn't happen in the spring, couple little incidents. This whole summer has just been tough, right? From tracks not really being up to par to the weather being super shitty to series shutting down. And so that's really the gist of what I'm saying. I'm really, really looking forward to October and November. It's going to be cooler temperatures and it's going to be some really good heavy racing, man. And I'm super, super excited for it. Not that I'm not super excited for Huntsville.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for XRP.
In my opinion, it's only 3 weeks ahead of XRP. So really, if you think about it, it's almost a lateral move when you look at the map. So we're not losing too much of anything in a longitude latitude aspect. Yeah. So your weather is going to be pretty consistent and pretty similar. So really, it just comes down to the track prep, and at that point, you throw XRP in the no worry pile at that point in time.
That's right.
Because, good God, when isn't that track just ready to rock and roll?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I really don't see any reason for it not to be able to happen.
Yeah. And, it doesn't take long for these guys to get their cars put back together. So after that race in Huntsville, they'll turn right back around and get ready for XRP. A lot of mods haven't run much. Give
them time and they'll point and shoot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Air is too hot, but I'm going to set the track record at Brainerd soon. I'm not going to argue that or doubt
Brainerd soon. Why Brainerd? The fuck's that mean? Excuse my French.
Never
What's that mean, Trolson?
Track before.
Why Brainerd? Why not in Huntsville or XRP? Come on now, man.
Oh,
XRP is going to be the track. November.
He's
sticky.
He's going to set the track record at Brainerd, which is fine. He's going to beat his dad. I think his dad holds the track record there.
I was just giving him a hard time. Yes,
but I know he's coming for blood.
Yes, he is
in Huntsville and XRP.
I know Toby's going to be bringing the heat too. Everybody. Oh, gotcha. That's the sign. So, yes. So we do have a special guest. And again, I want to thank Nick for facilitating this. And I'm really kind of excited to talk to, and I don't know, I guess we'll go by Jim. James, Pastor James is what I wanted to say. We'll get the answer from him.
It's always fun to meet you. Let's find out.
Welcome this handsome dude. I'm super jealous of his beard. Cat right back here. Only wish I could grow my beard back like that. It's so manly and awesome. Pastor James.
How we doing, sir?
I'm doing great, gentlemen. And to clarify what I go by, it's Lee, actually.
Lee. Okay.
Even better.
All right. So is it Pastor Lee?
There is Reverend attached to the name as a title, but I don't boast of that nor brag of it. So Lee's fine. Monday Morning Racer, MMR. I've been called worse and answered too. So whatever, man.
Amen.
All right, Lee. Well, I like Reverend Lee too, man. I give the respect. You've earned it. I give the respect. So how are you? I'm glad to have you on the podcast. And Nick's talked a lot about you, and I was going through. And this is the ocean's full. It's a deep pool when you talk about drag racing in general, from videographers to promoters to racers and classes. And frankly, I had no idea how many classes there were in drag racing until I got involved. And not only that, let's just talk about extreme 10.5. How many different variables at 10.5 are there? Holy cow, that's a whole nother ball of wax, right?
It certainly is. Drag racing suffers from a good problem of diversity, and it makes it that challenging to cover as a sport. Oftentimes I cover NHRA drag racing to, outlaw door slammers to extreme top fuel. And I dabble in some other motorsports as well within Monday Morning Racer platform. And then I work for Funny Car Chaos, Nitro Chaos with Chris Graves. I'm heading to a Nitro Chaos event right now. I'm at a Starbucks in Paducah, Kentucky, and sitting on this great podcast. So drag racing being so diverse, it can be very challenging to cover it all or know everything that's happening in the scene that is drag racing. I can't really carry much of a conversation when it comes to the no prep kings, the no prep elite. I really can't. Nothing against those guys, but the bandwidth gets stretched so much, and you're already at a track. You're working. You're producing videos and you're producing content. You can't consume it yourself. So yes, drag racing, it is very, very wide. But I think that in all of its array, it's beautiful. Love drag racing. The no prep scene back at the track, it is great. The NHRA quarter mile, it is great. This small tire, big tire. It fascinates me how often you see these arguments and squabbles between fellow drag racers of what is drag racing really. I don't care the distance. I don't care the style. Let's just go A to B, line them up, and turn a wind light on and enjoy it all.
You said it. You hit it right on the head, right? A to B. Let's just get out there and have some fun. Let's line up and hit it and see who crosses. Crosses first, I should say. But yeah, you're 100% right. And it is very diverse. And to your point, I'm new on this side of the fence, as you may or may not know, as the new owner or promoter for the ADRL. I've been at this now for a couple years, and I had really no idea what I was getting into once I jumped on this side of the fence. And it has been every part of every emotion that you could imagine, from stress to bliss to I could go on and on and on. I mean, you're holding great events, you're hoping spectators show up, then the spectators show up, and then you're having a great time, and then one of the racers crash, and then all of a sudden you're freaking out and you're hoping they're okay, and then you're back in the pits, and it's
being
just
seconds away from telling one of your best friends to take it and just walk away from it all. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, my mic's on.
Oh, Adam, you're great, dude. But yeah, it has been absolutely fantastic, and there's a heck of a learning curve to go through with this. It's funny, when Adam and I first started putting events together, I said, hey, we can put these classes together. We know all the Pro Extreme and Pro Nitrous, and put a new class together, and then guys are reaching out and they're like, hey, what are the rules? And I called Adam. I said, Adam, I didn't know there were rules, bro. What do we
just
do?
Turn on a light, or the light goes green and they go, and whoever crosses first wins. If it's more than that, I'm out.
Right. I'm thinking to myself, wow, okay, so there's more to this. And then the crash course began. You want to talk about feeding through a fire hose. And the bottom line is safety's first. Safety's paramount. That is the number one most important thing for us. Other than run what you brung, let's see how fast everybody can go. So it's a good time. So tell me about Funny Car Chaos. I do have some, not a lot of experience, but with Bubba and Leith the Corzine, some really, really great people. They worked with us last year. Bubba was like, hey, I'm going to start working with Funny Car Chaos. I'm like, man, that's awesome. And actually some merch vendors I know that come out and work with you guys. You guys have been getting some pretty good traction. I can't think of anything else other than that, but
it works in drag racing.
No pun intended. But you guys have been getting pretty good traction with Funny Car Chaos. How many races a year? Tell me a little bit about what you guys got going on.
Sure. Well, first, let me say I commend you for trying your all to revive the nameplate that is ADRL within the world of drag racing. And if you just reach half of the zenith that was, it's going to be a good thing for the world in drag racing. And I was there 3 years ago now at Texas Motorplex, when it was attempted to be revived at another time, and filmed and put that out on my YouTube channel, and really like the concept, really like the people that they've got that want this to move forward and want it to be successful. So I commend you. You got a long road and an uphill road ahead of you for sure.
Sorry,
and
my legs are burning.
Hey, I hope the drag racing world, from Competition Plus, Drag Illustrated, Drag Coverage, Drag Zine, all these outlets, I hope they help you out. I hope they get the word out there, and the ADRL, with its brand and its nuance on drag racing, can get back to where it was. That is certainly going to be good for the world of drag racing. So keep up the good work. On Chaos, look, Chris Graves has developed something that is working tremendously, and it really should. It is no rules, run what you brung, have fun, let's do it all safely, and in a way where it's not beating the racer to death to go race. For example, the entry fee is $150, and you get like 10 crewmen in your car and your truck and your trailer. You get 2 fit spots, and $50 goes to safety. Like at one time, it was just $100 entry fee. And, Chris isn't like bean counting like how many crewmen you actually got. So it is a tremendous deal. It's not a top-heavy payout either. Like if you qualify, and depending on your program, you can make a little bit of money as a grassroots racer. I think what it has done, though, and why people as fans and racers are gravitating to it, is Chris made it where, with Funny Car Chaos in particular, if you've got a funny car, you've got a place to race it now. At one time, I would say 5-6 years ago, if you had not updated your car to every spec that the NHRA wanted, you weren't running your funny car unless you were booking in a match race here or there. And what racer wants to go out just 2 times a year with their hot rod? They want to go out as many times as they can. They want to compete. They want an opportunity to win. They want an opportunity to win the championship, I think most of them do. And that's what Chris Graves afforded to the funny car racer. Bring your funny car. It can be nitrous assisted. It can have a centrifugal supercharger on it. It can be a traditional blown nitromethane combination or methanol combination. Just bring your funny car and let's go race through the A, B, C field type of scenario with an 8-car field. And he's even thrown in another complexity this year. We're not even doing a pro ladder anymore. We're doing a sportsman ladder. And I kind of like, really? I don't know about that. But it has produced some interesting matchups round 1 that you would typically see in the final round. Now we're seeing them in the first round. And with Chris and Funny Car Chaos and Nitro Chaos, another thing that has been done, they haven't forgot about the smaller tracks, such as a Mocan Dragway that I'm heading to, or tracks that, though historical, might have lost a little bit of their luster, though many people are doing a great job to bring such tracks as Cordova Dragway back with all its historical significance. So we're able to hit facilities like that, and then also a facility such as the Texas Motorplex or Maryland International Raceway with world-renowned status in the motorsports and drag racing world. So Chris Graves has done a tremendous job to give a funny car racer, or in the case of Nitro Chaos, a racer that is burning nitromethane, a place to go race. And I think that's what racers really want. They want a place to go race, have fun, and not have an overbearing set of rules that costs them wins or more money.
Right. That's right. That's right. Well, and to your point, racers want the opportunity to take their hobby, build what they can, and run what you brung, right? They want to compete. And we hear that, I've heard that this year, how many races are you guys having? How many races are you going to have next year? And you feel that energy where they don't want to race 3 or 4 or 5 races a year. They want to get out there and run eight races at least, So
right.
Leave for president. Amen.
I don't know about that.
It is a very dangerous job, and we should know that after 250 years now.
Right.
Yeah. So very, very good points. And I do hear a lot about Funny Car Chaos. And I do as well want to tell you I appreciate what you said, those kind words about, us taking this by the horns, and I've heard it all, but hey, we're giving it. And, I believe that when things are done the right way for the right reason, and, you just have faith in God, and you pray that it's gonna, that it's gonna happen, or it's not gonna happen. But we're going to do the right thing and put our right mindset in, and, see what happens. And, we're hoping to get some love from all these guys. When I talked to Wes, he talked about giving us some love, and haven't heard from Wes. TJ, come on. Where you at, man? Talked to TJ a few times. He was going to give us some love, but haven't heard from TJ. So, you know what? We're going to keep our blinders on. We're going to stay focused on our racers, man. I love the camaraderie and the family that drag racing is. I've never, I don't know if you know much about my past, but I'm a musician, and I've been in bands, and I've done shows and done some traveling. And, I understand how tight a certain niche or industry can be. But this is a whole different level. It's like when I have a race, I don't really want to direct the race. I want to hang out in the pits and talk to everybody, right? It's like a big family. It's like a family reunion. It's like a big camp. It's super fun, but I almost don't like having the opportunity to hang out with everybody at the races, and it's like, and then everybody's spread out all over the place, and all you can do is text or video call every once in a while. But the community is super cool, and the amount of sportsmanship is like nothing I've ever seen. I've never seen people just going into other people's campers or trailers and getting parts. Oh yeah, I got that. Everybody's going around helping each other, and I mean, it's just really cool, man. It's a really, really awesome experience to be on this side of the fence and get that intimate experience. I digress, but I'm super excited to be here. But back to you. So Funny Car Chaos, let's talk about you. So you're a videographer. You've been doing that for about how long? How long have you been a videographer for?
I started the Monday Morning Racer YouTube channel 5 years ago, maybe a little bit over 5 years at this point, and really didn't have the intention of being a videographer. I was going to post on YouTube kind of like little news blurps of motorsports, and that's why it's Monday Morning Racer. It's a playoff Monday morning quarterback, kind of that opinionated, after the event, after things have happened and transpired. One day I'll actually have a Monday Morning Racer show on Monday morning. It should be there already, but I hadn't quite got there. Nonetheless, I realized that, hey, I wouldn't mind interviewing these people. But then I'm like, man, straight interviews tend to don't do very well. Maybe I'll start filming the races. And in filming the races, I coupled that with the interviews, because I'm a firm believer that the actual stars are not the mechanisms with 4 or 2 wheels. They are the people riding or piloting these machines. They are the stars. And when we have programs that are devoid of the human element, I think it's missing the star power that is within drag racing. So if you look at my material, very rarely are you going to see a drag race on the Monday Morning Racer platform, or a circle track race, or any type of motorsports content on the channel that you don't find the human element somewhere. Their stories are what I believe should shine the brightest. So coupling all that together, it's been a little over 5 years of filming racing, and doing that from NHRA, on NHRA.tv, to Funny Car Chaos, my own platform with Monday Morning Racer, PDRA drag racing, outlaw events such as Extreme Top Fuel, or just the most recent one was the Outlaw Pro Mods there with the Southern Shootout and the Southern Nitrous Racers Association at Huntsville Dragway, Rocket City Dragway.
Yep.
And throw in some dirt track racing and some asphalt late model racing every now and then, and a lot of racing on the Monday Morning Racer platform. Again, though, that key element is, what is the human story? Because these cars never hit the track without a human touching them. These cars never do laps, never turn on a wind light, never crash without a human. We're not watching the movie Cars out there, where these cars are free moral agents, autonomous, and have a capability of themselves to do what they do. No, humans make it all happen, and they're the stars.
Yeah, absolutely. And to that point, that was essentially the whole gist of this podcast when Prince Adam, we call him Prince Adam. It was originally Producer Adam, but it got changed. Anyways, we'll call him Prince Adam. The idea or the concept of this was, we don't know a lot of individuals in the, we've spent an extensive amount of time building our Rolodex, for those that know or don't know what a Rolodex is, of contacts and racers and folks in the industry and networking, right? And me going to as many races as I could and just walking the pits and meeting people and going through the whole idea of really getting to know people on a human level, right? Like this podcast isn't about us just having people on to interview. This is about us establishing relationships and meeting people. And so the whole idea of this podcast really is just to have people on and just talk, right? It's just a talk. I'm not an interview. I didn't go to school to be, I don't even know what the name of that field is. What do you call that when you go to school? Journalist. There it is. I'm not a journalist. I have no business being a journalist. I don't know what kind of questions I ask.
Integrity.
Yeah, exactly. So this is really just about folks getting to meet each other, me getting to meet folks like you that have some clout in the industry, and picking your brain, and us having a conversation and say, hey, what about this and what about that? So I do have a segment that I do call In the Groove, and this is again a personal kind of thing, but I'm a musician, and whether I'm working on my Cutlass in the garage or mowing the lawn or doing whatever I'm doing, music gets me going, and that's just how it is. Now, it's not the same for everybody, so sometimes this question gets a little sideways sometimes. However, when you're driving and you're cruising along or you're getting ready, I'm not sure, does music have an impact on you? And if so, what are you listening to these days to kind of get you going, to put you in a good mood, or maybe get you going, when you're cruising down the highway and get your spirits up a little bit? What are you listening to?
I tell you, music certainly does have an impact. And if someone is out there and they think that music doesn't have an impact on them, I think they're not breathing, first and foremost. Music has an impact negatively and positively in so many ways. And music is such a great way, again, a testament to the capabilities of the beautiful nature of creativity of humanity to produce such spectacular tones and melodies and rhythms out of so many different instruments, and sometimes not even an instrument, but the human body itself with a voice or the hands, the feet, whatever they might be playing off of. I listen to everything. I know that's a catch-all, and people say that, and you look at their playlist, and it's a bit suspect after that, but my Spotify playlist will go from Prince to Sam Spence, who did the NFL Films music, from Sam Spence to Metallica, from Metallica to old country like Johnny Cash, and then on to classical music, whether it's Mozart or Beethoven, and then it goes into like old school hip hop. I like that more than the modern rap, but just about anything. If I like it, I'll put it on a playlist. And I have a bad habit of, I like a song and I like the music, and I'm not even sure where the artist is from or what their name is. I think it's like Sabaton. They're out of Scandinavia, and they teach historical lessons of historical moments through heavy metal music. And I love that. It's just a great idea, So it just about everything is on my playlist when I'm driving up and down the road. And then certainly motorsports podcasts, I enjoy those and listen to those a lot. And then I enjoy, on an entertainment side, just learning a little bit of everything, whether like I'm fascinated by the missing 411 stuff that's out there dealing with like national parks. And
so what is that? Explain that. Missing 411. Explain that to me.
Yeah, missing 411 is a project, and it's kind of a catch-all term, but David Politis and other people have put research together, and there's these strange missing person cases that are usually connected to national parks or state parks.
It's crazy.
And, they go from, aliens are involved, to Bigfoot, to feral people, to, no, they found them and it was just a mishap. They go all over. But there are some extremely strange cases out there. So I enjoy true crime podcasts, anything that can increase what I know. Because the more you know in my line of work, you can roll that into what I'm even doing at the drag strip. Like, I enjoy reading sci-fi and fantasy books, and you can connect that to what you're seeing in the drag strip. And sometimes you've got to ask those questions. I think of one funny car team in Nitro Chaos. The name on the funny car is Svengali, and Svengali is from a novel, and he is like this evil sorcerer. Well, I love stuff like that. I can work that into an intro. The team has worked some evil sorcery on the competition this weekend, as they are the number one qualifier heading into eliminations. You pull all that together, and I feel like those that pull from different areas and are in general fascinated in a broad spectrum, they're going to be able to do better than those who are like, just drag racing.
Sure.
If I may, I think one of the best right now, Brian Loans. You can tell Brian is well-versed in many different areas, and he's able to pull that together in his announcing and in his video presentations on Fox. for example. So, far as music, broad spectrum, thoroughly enjoy it. And to give you an example, the song, the artist, it fails me, but Electric Avenue. We're going to go down to Electric Avenue.
Yeah.
Well, I was doing pit reporting for Hot Rod Drag Week, and there was a gentleman that had a Tesla and did a pit report with him to go on the live stream, and I was able to set it up by saying, well, we're going on down to Electric Avenue. Can't remember this guy's name, as he is in Hot Rod Drag Week with a Tesla. You just connect all those kind of dots, and yeah, music comes in, fantasy comes in, sci-fi comes in, all of it. Pull it together, run with it.
Sounds like you're got a very creative mind. Are you an artist? Do you draw? Do you play?
I used to.
Instruments?
I used to draw, through middle school, high school, and it was something that did thoroughly enjoy. I wish I had more time for it. I've even considered bringing it back up as a small hobby and kind of a way of stress relief and switching gears, things of that nature. I would say back to having Reverend attached to my name, crafting a sermon is a very creative act. And for many years did that exact thing, crafting a sermon. How do you connect the dots from what is being told, in particular, the Bible, to humans in your audience and make it applicable in real life? And that is, I feel, a creative act up there with writing or journalistic endeavors, things of that nature.
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty amazing that when you're creative, how you can kind of bring creativity into pretty much anything. If you're a very creative type individual, I feel the same way. I'd spent, my whole life playing music. I grew up as an artist. That was kind of what I wanted to go after. And when I kind of jumped in years ago, when I jumped into the entrepreneurial world, it was almost the same thing as the way I look at being in a band and writing music. You have 4 individuals that are very creative, but we all have our own individual roles, but collectively it's the final product that is what everybody is seeing. And then so when I went into starting businesses, I kind of had that same mindset, right? Like it's the final product. You're the conductor at this point, and you have all your instruments, and what is the final product? How does the consumer look at your business, and what is your final product that you're putting out? I mean, either, excuse my French, you're either a really shitty band or you're a great band and you understand how to put it together, and you have a great final sound, or your music's good, so it's kind of the same thing. It's just being able to creatively connect the dots and have a final product that people like. And that's what's exciting about this for me, is that this is a new endeavor for me. Something that I've never been a promoter in the drag racing world, promoted my own band in the past. But this is kind of the same thing. It's, you have your team. It's your reputation. It's how you conduct your events. It is the racers that race with you, and in the bottom, at the end of the show, was it a good show? Were the spectators, did they have a good time? Did the racers have a great time in front of the spectators? It's just this whole orchestra of goodness, if that makes any sense whatsoever.
For sure. Look, it is painful to me. I do top end interviews for Funny Car Chaos, and I do interviews for my own work on Monday Morning Racer. I absolutely despise, how do you feel? That question. Like, you can ask the same question, but put it in context and put it in a different box and deliver that package as a question. Or, what does this mean to you? Well, it can mean something to them in the moment, and then an hour later means something completely different.
Sure.
Learn, everybody out there doing interviews, and I don't mean this in just a podcast setting. I mean like on the moment with race cars and race car drivers. Again, learn how to connect those dots. I think, back to Rocket City Dragway with the event that they just had with the Southern Shootout Inn and the Southern Nitrous Racers Association. Jim, I think it's Jim Brackett. He's got a 37 Chevrolet, old school kind of pro mod, and it's called Aggravation 2.0. Oh, when I saw that, I'm like, oh, this is easy. This is easy. And he's already going rounds. He's going in the semifinals, and he's not the quickest and fastest. It's like, Jim, how is it that you are, in fact, an aggravation in your Aggravation 2.0 to the competition? I mean, pull the dots, connect the dots.
Right.
It's, look beyond the moment, look beyond what you just intend to ask and put all those together. Like I think of Rocket City Dragway. Man, they need to begin every event with 10, 9.
Oh,
8,
no doubt.
Lean into all of that.
Right.
Look at what you're playing. Look you're at your theme, play off of it, and run forward.
Yeah, you're 100% right. Look, here's the thing: is that I don't know. I hate to say it. A lot of people could practice it. I just don't know that everybody has that skill. I don't know that everybody is that creative to be able to do that. It's like playing guitar. Some people can, some people can't. Some people, like myself, are self-taught guitar players, and I've written 100 songs, and I've come up with my own stuff, and I feel like it's very. It just has a lot of feeling and emotion because that's how I kind of bring it out through an instrument, right? But then you have guitar players that are classically trained or trained in school, and they're not using any emotion or using their brain. It's all just very
robotic,
and you can sort of tell, right? So I think to your point, you may have it or you just may not have it, and luckily for you not luckily, but you've noticed that area of opportunity where you can actually make you can shine a situation up better than just. So how does that feel? Great job. How do you feel about that? Right? Like you've recognized an opportunity, and oh my gosh, are you a business owner? Do you own businesses, or have you? I mean, I guess you're self-employed now, or per se. I mean,
in a lot of ways, what MMR is and has become is a business in and of itself. You could say private contractor, however you want to put it. I do work for McKinney Corp. I handle Murph McKinney's social media, and that's my big ticket item. I do work for Funding for Chaos. That's almost like a private contract scenario, and again, that is even born out of Chris encountering me with the Monday Morning Racer platform, covering some of his events. So MMR has been a side hustle, if you will, a business that has allowed for more business within the world of motorsports to come along. At this point in my life, switch gears. God opened up a door 5 years ago that I thought he wanted me to step through, and I stepped through it. And it took about 4 years, but at this point, I'm making a living full time, cobbled together. All my income's from motorsports, one way or the other.
Amen, man. Amen. And the reason I asked that is you could clearly tell by your character and talking to you and your enthusiasm and your articulation and your creativity and you noticing areas of opportunity to make things better and so on and so forth. Like you are the definition of someone that can be a successful entrepreneur, right? Just good character, and you clearly have a high level of competence. So yeah, Lee for president.
Well, I appreciate that. I tell you, I see what. I used to think at one time, wow, I'll promote a race every now and then. I'm from South Carolina originally, and I'm like, I wouldn't mind doing a race in the Carolinas. And, even though there are already some great promoters in the Carolinas, I think like Corey Stamper. Corey Stamper does a phenomenal job with Forward Media and his many promotions that he's got going on. But I see what promoters go through now by being so close to Chris Graves, and God bless you all. I don't want that headache. I will take my camera in, I will film, I'll interview and edit and leave the drama there. It is
my gosh.
so fascinating what he has to deal with from. We're 15 days out from an event, and people are looking at a forecast and like, "You're going to cancel the event? The weather doesn't look
Oh
good."
my gosh.
Stuff like that. It's like, really?
That hits so close to my heart. I mean, it clearly takes a certain level of crazy, whatever that means, to want to do this.
Crazy competence.
Yes. But you know what? Then again, though, I think it also takes a certain level of individual to say, let's give it a shot and deal with all of those punches. Because, yes, I mean, look, and people have told me so many times, again, I'm as a new promoter, there's been decisions that I've had to make that I had no business making, but had to because I'm the owner and the promoter. And I would I'd tell the track owner, I'm like, well, this is going to go good or it's going to go bad, but I got to make a decision. Right. And oh my gosh, I remember. But I've got so many examples from, to your point, right? It's a week ahead of the race. Racers are reaching out. I don't know if you've seen the forecast, but it's Tuesday, and it went from sunny to 30%. Are we still going to go? And I'm like, and you're just being pounded with those questions, and then it looks good, and then you get there, and then the rain's coming, and then you're, maybe we'll hurry up and get the qualifying round in, and everybody at the starting line, and then all of a sudden everybody's showing up with pitchforks and torches, marching towards me and got me pinned against the wall. Like, what are you doing? You gotta give us time. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what's happening right now? Like, so, it takes a certain level of crazy to promote a drag racing event and a certain level of do or die. You're either gonna die or go broke doing it, one of the two. So it's pretty awesome. But I truly do appreciate what you do from an artistic standpoint, just in general with videographers. It's something I've always wanted to get into, but I've got sucked onto this side, and so I figured, hey, why not bring one of my close friends on, Prince Adam, who loves videoing and taking pictures and podcasts, and so we'll kind of let him handle all that. But man, it takes a certain bit of crazy. I'm sure speaking of Jeff, I'm sure Jeff knows exactly what I'm talking about. It takes a certain level of crazy to have to deal with everything from racers to track owners to spectators to the whole things. But it's all good, man. We do it because I love it. There's a thrill of it. As a former Marine, I think people would think that I was crazy that you run to the gunfight. Sure. Most people don't do that, but anyways, man, I appreciate you being on, and I hope that maybe you come to one of our events and you don't have to film or anything. Just come and hang out, and I'd love to pick your brain some more. Clearly, you've been to a lot of different events, and you're creative, and you see areas of opportunity. So I'm always open to suggestions and people coming to the events. The support that I've gotten so far has been so incredible. Again, from Toby Baptiste and Renegade Racing Fuels and Luis, the owner of Fuel Tech, and Chris Duncan and Amanda Hoover, willing to go out on the line despite the ADRL's history and say, Fears, we really like you, man. And, we're going to do everything we can. I mean, we got Donald Long, like, hey, I'll help you, man. I think you're awesome, Fears. I got you. And that kind of support when people are like, dude, Donald doesn't do that for anybody. I'm like, wow, really? I'm like, okay, well, that's cool. That makes me feel good. And to see his events, so hope to see you at one of our events. And, other than that, maybe we can sit down and chat a little bit and talk about, do you ever play Dungeons and Dragons? You seem like a Dungeons and Dragons kind of guy. Did you play games? I
have not ventured into Dungeons and Dragons, but when you talk about epic board games, I have dove into some in particular on the World War II side of matters, like Axis and Allies, and then there's one that is beyond Axis and Allies by the same creators. It is a massive actual circular globe map, and you got to write your orders out and things of that nature. So do enjoy board games to that nature, strategy games, things of that. So I haven't done Dungeons and Dragons, but I think I would enjoy it.
I think you would too. It kind of fits your whole sci-fi and just all of it together. It's a really kind of cool thing. You draw your own boards and maps, and I grew up, I had a friend who was very creative, and he was also a musician, and he was the dungeon master, and he'd draw characters for everybody, and it was just a really great time. Now I got Prince Adam, who's addicted to this game called Valhalla on Xbox, where it's just this
Valheim,
not Valhalla, Valheim.
If anybody wants to come play with me.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, when you gonna get on? And so he's like, dude, we go on and we build cities, and we go through the forest, and we make all this stuff, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll hop on with you. So yeah, it gets fun. But anyways, I appreciate you coming on, and Nick, if you're watching, man, thank you for setting up this interview, and hopefully you'll come to one of our races and do a little videoing or sit down and talk and give me some feedback, man.
Well, thank you for the time. Enjoy chatting drag racing and beyond with anybody. And again, I commend you and keep up the good work trying to revive this American Drag Racing League name and put luster back on it and move it forward. I've seen the photos. I've heard the tales from like John Montecalvo and John Porcino and others of what it was. If it can just get half of it, and I'm sure you're not aiming for half. You're aiming for the full and beyond, and I'm glad you're doing that. It will be spectacular, and it will be good for everybody in drag racing. And I've already eyed your schedule. I couldn't make South Georgia Motorsports Park. I've been looking, and there are so many great events, and with commitments with Chaos, there's so much overlap out there. And I will make an ADRL event, and if you all need any assistance, I know you've got your YouTube channel, you've got the Facebook page here. Just, hey, reach out. Be more than glad to help. If you need someone to hold a mic, well, I have a mic, and you carry, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. Well, Lee, or Reverend Lee, I should say, we do appreciate you being on, and I look forward to watching some of your podcasts here coming up now that Nick has turned me on to yourself, and we'll keep moving forward and creating a bigger.
Do you have anything upcoming that you want to plug, or where can people find?
Do you want to plug something?
Oh, wow. So if you want to follow, just the easiest thing, just Google search Monday Morning Racer, and you can follow on Instagram. You can follow on X, formerly known as Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook as well. Upcoming for me, back-to-back is Chaos events. We've got Nitro Chaos here at Bocan Dragway, and then heading out to New Mexico for the second ever Funny Car Chaos event out there. And then I'll be making my first ever venture to Martin, Michigan for the Northern Nationals up there, with a particular focus covering and working with Extreme Top Fuel, who was there at Rocket City Dragway earlier in the year. And you'll see that material on my YouTube channel coming up. Yeah, I do want to point something out. I've had an interesting observation with something that on my platform has been very successful here recently, and then in my life finding, for the first time in a very long time, someone very special to me in a new girlfriend, and now not new, but she had never experienced drag racing at all. The only motorsport she was really familiar with was tractor pulling. We go to a Southeast Gassers event, and she falls in love with it. We go to Extreme Top Fuel, and she experienced that. She experiences Pro Mods there at Rocket City Dragway this past weekend. And it's been interesting to see drag racing through a fresh set of eyes. I grew up in drag racing. I went in diapers to the Southern Nationals. So there's things that I overlook that she, with that new experience, brings up some questions. For one, and I think this is something that all promoters can learn from. She's like, and if no one's ever been to a Southeast Gassers Association and a race, and you are a promoter, you need to go. You need to see what they're doing. You need to see how they're doing it. I think everybody does. Well, she mentioned, why is the program slower compared to Southeast Gassers Association? And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, well, there's a lot of downtime. I'm like, compared to something like Sega, there is a lot of downtime. So that's one. She noticed downtime. And for fans that are not well-versed, or they're not just in love with it, promoters, be careful about downtime. And then what has been successful lately, crazy enough, on my Instagram. It's got like 9.5 million views right now. Has helped advance my Instagram profile by thousands, literally.
Wow.
I happened to film the two wheel standers. Another video got 2.7 million. The one wheel stander is the Mullet Machine. He was at Cordova Dragway, and it looks like the Mystery Machine, but he's named it the Mullet Machine. Stands it up, goes all the way quarter mile. It's like a 10-second video, 2.7 million views. Then we all know the Cool Bus. That thing has been around for years. I remember it as a kid. You remember it as a kid. Everybody knows about it. Everybody in drag racing, at least, knows about it.
Yeah.
And this is my point. It's got 9.5 million views now, and so many people are commenting on it, and they're not drag racing fans. But the algorithm has pushed it to them. And I'm thinking to myself, I filmed that just for the fun of it. I didn't think that it would take off because I get more excited of a nitromethane funny car doing a burnout by me. But to the uninitiated, they're like, what's that? But everybody knows what a school bus is, and here it's on fire and shooting sparklers and on its back tires.
Yeah.
So promoters, recognize your downtime and work on that, and then realize you got to have things that everybody, not just the drag racing fan, are going to gravitate towards, or make what is in drag racing a gravitational pull for the common day man.
Two very good points. You're 100% right. Yes. Watch your downtime.
Thanks for taking my notes and repeating those back to Ryan to help reinforce some things I've been saying. I'm just kidding, but no, that all fit in perfect with my mindset. I've only been to 5 drag races, so I'm basically like your girlfriend. And not
weird as that sounds. Whatever,
yeah.
Prince Adam.
Right.
I'm seeing things from that kind of fresh perspective, and I notice those sorts of things too. And I'm the guy down there videoing it as well. It's like, well, I'd rather video something than nothing. So I get where she's coming from.
Right.
Very valid points.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And, for me, yes, I'm a drag racing fan, not as diehard as some folks are. But as a promoter, being a new promoter coming in and handling the events on my own, I do see a lot of areas of opportunity, and you hit it right on the head. Downtime, and then things that I still can't wrap my head around the fact that you got 9.5 million views on the bus doing. It's
a 10-second clip, and it's a shot from behind. It's belching flames. It stands up and goes through the quarter mile at Edgewater Sports Park there just outside of Cincinnati, Ohio. And again, I filmed it, and I'm like, man, I think it's cool, but I'm like, it's not as cool as I think other things are in drag racing. But it just goes to show you how the algorithm can work and what actually can gravitate towards everybody. And it makes sense now after I see the comments.
So some people. Tell me about that. Yeah. Tell me about what are the insights? Well, what made that?
Well, what has made it is everybody knows what a school bus is, and almost everybody has some experience of riding on a school bus. I rode on a school bus when I was going to high school to and fro. And then also beyond that, a lot of people are commenting like, man, Miss Frizzle's got a lot of horsepower now. Talking about like the magic school bus. So you've got all these connections that I'm like, I would have never had connected those dots because I'm just seeing it from a drag racing perspective. But here it is. I don't know what the number is for viral these days, but it's blown up on my Instagram, and it certainly is doing well as a short on YouTube as well at this point, like 200,000 views. And I'm looking, I'm like, yeah, okay, I think funny cars are awesome. I think funny cars are cooler than a wheel stander. But the reason for that is because I'm passionate about the competition and not just an exhibition vehicle, though they have their place in drag racing and they're great. Do not misunderstand me. But yet, too, again, the uninitiated, well, they're going to gravitate toward that. And if I may say,
it's a very normal, common thing. Everybody's experienced.
Relatable.
Everybody's been on the bus.
Bingo.
Who didn't imagine their school bus doing that to get them to school as a kid?
Bingo.
So,
Bingo.
Yeah,
so
relatable.
And I think that rolls over to what a lot of people harp on these days, look, everybody routinely, I love Pro Stock. I love NHRA Pro Stock. But I feel like they lost their essence many, many years ago. The cars don't look like the cars are supposed to look like.
Mhm.
And you commonly have people chiming in that, hey, we like Pro Stock, but it doesn't look anything like a car. They do look like naturally aspirated Pro Mods these days.
Right.
Instead of anything stock. And I can see people already gravitating on my platform, which is smaller, nonetheless, just crossed over 10,000 subscribers, but that's not a big YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's great.
Appreciate that. But it's not big in the grand scheme of things. But when I put Factory X on the channel, it does really well. And you can see people in the comments section like, this is what we want Pro Stock to be. We just want the cars to look like the cars that they're supposed to be.
Relatable.
With that being said, competitors, you can help your promoters. And if you're not helping your promoters make the promotion better, you're part of the problem. You need to be doing good burnouts. You need to be giving throttle wax. You need to be giving some fan service. Like, if I may, the NHRA, it gets bagged on all the time. Oh, they've done this, they've done that. And sometimes it is warranted, but other times it's not. I think about the throttle whack, for example, with fuel cars. I understand they don't have to do it anymore mechanically for the reasons they were years ago, but it's been proven.
After the burnout? You mean after they do their burnout?
Well, during warm-up.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, during warm-up. So they don't have to do it anymore. I get it, but it is truly a unique experience in the world of motorsports. And when we also now know that it really doesn't affect the tune-up if you do it right, well, competitors, get back to doing it, because almost all the fans harp on that there's not enough throttle wax. Get back to doing it. Get back to some longer burnouts. Get back to the cars looking like the cars. There's things you as a competitor, you can help the promotions, and you can help put people back in the stands. A great example, Lyle Greenberg has a nostalgia Corvette funny car, and he went with an interesting name called the Cone Hunter, and it's got this cartoonish cones, with a bullseye on it. Man, he sells t-shirts. People don't even really know who he is, but he sells t-shirts because they can grab it, Cone Hunter, and this little cartoon character. His daughter leans into it as she's backing up the car, wearing a cone suit, things of that nature. Like, look, find your thing and run with it, okay? And work it. And give another point of connection beyond a car, because ultimately the car is not the star. You are.
I got nothing. I don't know how do you follow that up? It's so good. You're so right. 100%. I mean, as a promoter, yes, every single point you just made is absolutely 100% true. I agree. Longer burnouts, throttle wax. There was a time when the ADRL and I'll bring up Kenny. I know I'll bring up Kenny. I know Adam makes Adam cringe a little bit. There was a time where Kenny made sure that everybody had their own theme, right? You had Batman, you had all the different. Everybody had the mad scientist Doug Reister and his cool stuff, and I mean everybody had their own thing. And but these days, I mean, since I've been in it, at least, everybody's got a Camaro. And nobody's got, and it's either red or it's got flames on it or something. It's just not. There's just no flavor. There's no. I mean, the spectators come to watch, and you could put as a promoter, $1 million out there to promote the event, have the spectators come up. But if it's a Camaro versus a Camaro and then a Camaro versus a Corvette,
you're paying all that money. It doesn't look like a Camaro at the end of the day. It just has the badging of a Camaro. Make the damn thing look cool.
Yeah, right. And that would definitely help sell. I believe that would help sell merchandise on their end. And nostalgia is hot. I think that would help them in the big scheme of things sell some stuff. I think they're really kind of piggybacking on their own name and who they are. They want to promote themselves at the rate as the racer, but I mean, when you've got 1,000 pro mods and nobody's different than the other guy, and one may be fast, just to the everyday person, they don't know the difference. It's like, and everybody has the same artwork on their shirts and on their cars, and it's all the same, right? So very, very good, valid points. So for all you competitors out there listening, come on. I like that, we had John Sullivan. We got John Sullivan and his altered, the Patriot, one of my favorite cars. One of my favorite cars. It's so cool. And then now we got the other John Sullivan. Now he's taking on the Landlord, right? So he's got Landlord on the side. But I mean, I don't know how you could make a character for the Landlord, but maybe he could. Maybe you could make it a little creative, John. I don't know. Anyways, I digress. But very good points, man. Very, very good points. Love it. Love it. I can't follow it up because it's so good. Everything you just said. Lee for president. So, hey, man, we'll let you get back to your Starbucks. And I know you're traveling. Have a good rest of the year, brother. Hopefully we'll talk to you at some point between then. Maybe run into you at a race. If there is you've got our contact information. If you feel like there's a race coming up where you're like, dude, you got to get out here. This is going to be super banger. As a new promoter, you should really check this out. Shoot it to Adam or I, and we'll hop in a car and come down and check it out. We're always open to come check out some new events. So just let us know. Spectacular. Guys, thank you for the time and keep up the good work. Yeah, I appreciate that. Have a great night, man. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you. Appreciate it. All righty. Bye-bye. All right. That was great. Wow. That was great. Yeah. Good. Man, it's just full of greatness. Yeah. Good insights. Good, valid points. I mean, I defy anyone out there to object. You can't object to that. Put it in the comments if you feel otherwise. It's such a great point. Like, the promoter carries such a huge burden. Thanks, Nick. The promoter carries such a huge burden of making sure there's spectators there and make it for the racers and making sure there's racers there for the spectators. But, what are the racers doing? Are they helping promote? And if not, they're kind of the problem of, and I can't say that you get back one spectator is going to help bring, or one racer is going to help bring a spectator, but no, but it's a snowball effect. It starts with that one spectator who then becomes a fan, who then buys your shirt, who then wears it to school or wherever, and then their friends see it, and then their friends are like, "Oh, I've never checked this out," and then all of a sudden they're a fan. It's a snowball effect. But if you don't do anything to set yourself apart and set yourself out there, then how can you ever find it? That's right. So share, if you wouldn't mind, shoot me his phone number so that I have it. I keep wanting to call him James. Now I got to switch over to Lee. Shoot me Lee's number, or Reverend Lee, or however you want, but shoot it over to me. Carter, what's good, man? What's up, Carter? Hope you're having a good night, brother. Saw Carter got his Burrow Max serviced. Yes, sir. I need to service mine, as a matter of fact. Took mine on a little adventure today. You gave a few throttle whacks? I did do a few throttle whacks. Yeah. Kind of went off-roading for a second and about killed myself. That was on purpose? No, I had to because there was no sidewalk, so I had to take that patch of grass. Man, been there, done that, and discovered giant that on potholes. 2 a.m. rides where everything for 5 blocks. It's a nice, even, smooth surface from sidewalk to street, and then all of a sudden, this one random block curb. I've done it all. It's fun. Yeah. It was great. I had to drop off there's issues with the wife's minivan with her front brakes. So I was like, well, Lori's got my car. The issue, it's a minivan. I got the Cutlass. So I loaded up the Burrow Max, put it in the van, drove the van down, dropped it off, hopped on the Burrow Max, drove back home, and then jumped in the Cutlass to go run errands, pick up the nameplates, and do some other stuff. So there you go. Yeah, it's a good time to get the old Cutlass out for a few throttle wax.
Should have took a camera and filmed a little commercial out of it.
Trust me, I thought about that the whole time, and I just don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Hey, no problem, Lee. Thank you.
Thank you, Lee. Appreciate you, sir. I just don't know what I'm doing. You know, I was thinking about, hey, maybe I can mount a GoPro to the motorcycle, or
I've got 2 of them just for such type stuff.
Yeah, I don't know how to. I don't know.
Then you mount one facing forward, and then you have one mounted facing you, and then you can easily edit whatever you need to out of that footage.
Yeah, that's a lot of time. That'd be a, hey, PA, I got a bunch of shit here. Edit what you want.
Yeah,
You're like, I ain't got no time for that, man.
Yeah, we'd figure it out.
Yeah.
Get one of those drones that follows you.
Oh, yeah, man. That's a great idea.
Exactly. James knows what content I'm looking for.
As long as you follow, it's the video. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or get chased by a cop. Cutting off through the fields, some backyards.
Yeah,
you
hop
can't
on
catch
70.
me. What'd you say? Hop on 70?
Yeah, hop on Highway 70. Get away.
Oh, that's funny. All right, man. Well, that was a great podcast.
Yes, indeed. Time flew by.
Yes, it sure the heck did. So yes, Reverend Lee, appreciate you. Nick Rabe, appreciate setting up that interview. That was fantastic. And
Nick Rabe,
Prince Adam, appreciate you.
Interview next week as well.
He's on a roll.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So make sure you tune in, like, comment, share, subscribe, follow, all that fun stuff. And yeah, if you're watching after this is already aired, try to catch us live. That experience is a whole lot more enjoyable.
Yes, for sure. But until next week, hope everybody has a good night, and we'll talk to you soon. Again, thanks to our sponsors, Renegade Racing Fuel and Toby Baptiste, Luis and Fuel Tech, and Chris Duncan and Amanda Hoover. Appreciate you guys.
Indeed.
For sure, police race. Yes. Peace and chicken grease.